What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Rant Café. Yet another episode of Rant Café, number 15, guys. Rant Café number 15. Now we have more episodes than both Anohana and The Devil is a Part-Timer, proving that life is not fair. I'm sorry.
Have we done this 15 times?
15 times, yeah.
That's crazy. That's a lot of times. I haven't even done my laundry 15 times ever. So that's impressive. I do my laundry. I'm kidding.
We've done this 15 times, and that's just the times that we actually didn't abort it because it was a total disaster. So yeah. Together it would be like 35 times.
35 times.
Today might be 36.
Woo! But yeah, welcome everyone in the chat. I already saw some peeps in there. I saw Creep Ellen doing the moderator thing. What's up? I saw my boy Assassin Gaming, who calls himself Dead Amelia for some reason. Amelia's best girl. We saw, who else did I see? I saw Christian. What's up, bro? Cookie was in there. So yeah, I saw a bunch of people already getting ready for the show. Welcome. Always glad to have you here. In this episode, we're actually going to be discussing what is anime? What the fuck is anime? And the way this was inspired was actually by a Mother's Basement video where he was arguing that Avatar and like Teen Titans and shows like that should be considered anime. Just Western anime, but still anime. So yeah, we'll get into that in more detail. But before then, while everyone's coming in, we're just going to kind of chat. We have with us Briggs from All Day Anime. What's up, Briggs?
Hello. Good to be here.
Pleasure to have you. We have Bryn from Bryn's Fandoms. Hello, Bryn.
Hello.
We also have Cyanide Blizzard.
It's great to be here today. Thank you.
Gross.
Always with the ASMR. And of course, we got Macklenot.
That's me. How's it going? Hi.
How's it going, bro? And we also are supposed to have Anime Recon joining us. He's running a bit late, so he might be popping in at some point in the near future. So if you see him, don't get shocked. He likes to raid our streams, but this time he's actually invited, so don't worry.
He's busy working on Recon no Pico right now.
Yeah, Recon no Pico fan fiction is real. It is very real. I believe it also features Blade Ninja in an important role, but that's just the rumor. Mac, I was thinking while people are all flooding into this massive stream, I was thinking to test our friendship.
Whew. I do like friendship and tests. So
I want to know if I can make you cry twice in a row just by using a few words.
I bet you can. I bet you can.
There he is, Anime Recon. What's up? Can you hear us?
Sorry, I am late.
Unacceptable. Leave. Leave. Why are you laughing?
No, it's cool as long as you're here. We were just talking about me trying to make Mac cry. My first statement to make you cry is, I love you, the kind of love where I want to marry you.
Who, me?
Relax.
Wow.
That's
really so damn beautiful, man.
That's a low
it's
blow.
So touchy. It's really touchy.
That's a low blow, Anna Mac. What did we talk about?
Let me raise it a notch. Remember this scene in Clannad After Story where it's like black and white and Tomoya sees Nagisa and he's thinking, what if I never talked to her that day? What if I never talked to her? Maybe I wouldn't go through all this suffering. And then what does he do, Mac?
That's another low blow, Anna Mac. That's not even the saddest scene in Clannad. So I'm fine with that.
That's pretty.
I'm making myself cry, bro. I'm making myself cry here.
Animac, you're a true villain. Terrible.
I abuse people's feels.
You abuse the feels. See, and does that make us still friends? Is that a friendship thing to abuse the feels?
Yes, it's a
all right.
They were so
Glad we sorted
By the
this.
way, everyone in the chat,
friendship.
#Recon no Pico.
No.
There he goes again.
Recon no Piccolo.
Well, everybody
he is
knows
one
me
of the
by
only
that.
people that I've seen that is actually proud of that. You know, having
I'm proud of that.
a
I don't
Boku no
really care.
Pico related hashtag. So by all means, we respect you.
To be
By the
honest,
way, guys, since we're going to be discussing Mother's Basement's video, if you look in the description, I've linked the video if you're interested in what video exactly we're speaking about. I also included a message in capital letters near the bottom of the description. Cyanide, can you be the first to check out what I said?
Someone's asked if I'm from Argentina. Really?
Oh, your basements.
Am I
belong
really
to
from
us.
Argentina? Really?
All your
Repeat that, Cyanide.
basements are belong to us. Yes,
We're
I
gonna
will
do
take
a,
your. I will take your praise now, please.
We're gonna do a Rant Cafe Q&A someday. Oh, that rhymes so nicely. That rolls off the tongue so nice. Rant Cafe Q&A. Cafe Q&A.
We might. I mean, I don't see how anyone would be entertained just asking us a bunch of questions, but you know,
That's true.
maybe we are running out of ideas, guys, for these.
The truth is out.
We're not supposed to
Not a
know.
bad idea, actually.
I'm an unlimited source of ideas and creativity. We will never run out of ideas as long as I'm here.
By the way, Uproar, I need to tell you that I did not watch the video, but I understand. I know what to talk about.
I sent you the video so you can watch it, Recon.
I didn't have exactly, but I didn't have time to watch it. But I kind of know. I kind of get an idea.
You should have done a reaction video to it. Then you would have found the time.
Fuck the reaction video for this, man. I don't want to. Why would I react to someone who's complaining why Avatar is not an anime? Well, here's my answer to you. It is an anime and it's not an anime at the same time. It's both.
Oh, yeah, it's getting complex. Okay, so let's get into this. I want to see Cyanide's take on this first because he's thought about this a lot. And yeah, I want to. Why don't you actually, Cyanide? Why don't you sum up the video itself? Because I know a bunch of people probably won't have seen it. Why don't you sum up the video a bit, and then we'll get into the actual discussion.
Well, it's an interesting topic because this is something that's been in discussion for a while of the clarifications of differentiating between Japanese animation, which was affectionately dubbed anime or anime, which is the Japanese abbreviation of animation, and it just sort of stuck, and also the general progression of Western animation to developing, I guess, more Japanese-based qualities and feels. So, and that's big. The big thing is that's what's exploring is sort of the merging of the culture, which is what we see in not only in just animation, but in terms of artistic styles as well. We're starting to see a merger of the two styles, East meeting West, so to speak. And that's been a question that's been in the industry for quite a while. Like that was actually first discussed when Avatar first came out was, hey, is this anime? Does this classify as anime? Well, no, it's not because it's Western animation. Well, that brings into another question. What is anime?
It's kind of exactly like I said to you, to be honest. It's an anime, and at the same time, it's not an anime. The thing is, what is anime? First of all, anime is made in Japan. It's basically something to say that it's a Japanese cartoon. That's what an anime is. That's why it's not an anime Avatar. But at the same time, it is because it's an animation. It's not made by Japan, but it is an animation. So that's my answer.
Interesting note here. See, the thing with anime, this is really where it gets interesting. See, outside of Japan, anime is referred to reference that. Inside Japan, however, the word anime is an abbreviation of the pronunciation of animation in Japan. However, and this is really important to note when we go forward in the discussion, and this is going to really be interesting, despite the general popularity of anime and the expansion it's had in a global capacity, the meaning and usage of the term is still ambiguous, and it doesn't really employ a uniform meaning because there are people, especially in Japan, who persist that there's a differentiation between anime and animation, arguing that anime is just a part of the bigger genre of animation.
Mm-hmm.
That's where things start really getting interesting. So basically that not all animation produced in Japan is anime.
You're correct.
Yes, and this was Mother Basement's point. I don't know what his actual name is. Does anyone know? So I don't keep calling him
Mother.
Jeff
Just Mother.
Boole.
Mother's Basement.
Yeah, it's Jeff, I believe.
It's
You're right.
Jeff? Okay. So yeah, Jeff's point was that, yeah, there's cartoons that are not anime, like children's cartoons for children. And they exist in both Japan and in the West. And he considers this, not anime. However, he thinks that anime the way it is. What he calls it is, I have notes.
Excellent.
Excellent. Taking more notes, Mr. Uproar.
Yeah, he says that anime is an artistic movement. So he ties it into a movement like, for example, the French New Wave in film. So he says it's a movement that has a certain style, a certain, approach to animation, but that can be replicated anywhere in the world because it's a movement. You can have French New Wave style films made by Quentin Tarantino, for example. So that was his point, and I wanted to weigh in, like, have you guys weigh in on this and tell me what you think. And Bryn, what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, I agree that like the definition of anime is so out there. For some people, it's very clear. It's animation from Japan. It's like Japanese subtitles. It's speaking in Japanese. That is anime with animation, you know. But for some people, it's like you get to Western culture and you see cartoons type of thing. But it's like technically, like Avatar, like was mentioned, could technically sort of be classified as an anime, but it all depends on what your personal opinion is of what anime is. For me, I classify it as animation from Japan. Basically, if there's Japanese subtitles, it's you know, it's pretty much anime. But you get, you know, different animation styles from different countries. You know, it gets just all blurred. What is anime? What is this? Oh my goodness, we struck down a wormhole, guys, and I don't know. Yep, that's.
When people think of anime, they think of like large eyes, colorful hair, nice fashion. That's what anime is about. But what about if it's not an anime? What would you guys think about it in the opposite way?
So the thing is that Jeff in the video, he argues that basically, even anime that's from Japan is actually produced in many cases in China or Korea. It's outsourced. So he's trying to say that it's not really, that you should not define anime strictly by being for a Japanese audience, because also, or made just in Japan, because he says that many anime nowadays are produced with a wider audience in mind. He's talking about globalization. He's saying that in the post-2000s period, so the new millennium, with the rise of internet, everything has become so global that it's much less so now just for a Japanese audience. It's much more global now. So he wants to have anime be like a more global term. And he would say that, yeah, like Avatar and such cartoons would be anime because they are part of this movement. They're mimicking this movement. They're inspired by it. So that's how he wants to put it. Mac, to give us an answer that is not completely diplomatic and just stays in the middle without offending anyone.
Get angry. That's what he's saying.
Which is the standard.
Well,
I see all points. My name is Mac. I respect everyone.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I mean, I don't know. To me, anime has always been. I kind of agree with the movement part. Like it's more to me been about like where's its heart at, right? Like I feel like anime. Yeah, like it's usually made in Japan, but I feel like it has a certain heart to it that a lot of Western cartoons don't have, right? And I feel like that's the main component in it. Like say for instance, you have some white dude named Jim. He was born in the States, and then like day after he's born, moves to Japan, is raised in Japan, speaks Japanese, is a Japanese citizen. But he was born in the States. Now, say Jim here goes on to work at an anime studio. He makes anime now. Just because and say like he maybe even heads that studio. Not saying it's happened, but say Jim is making this anime, brings it out, and then in the credits, it's like created by Jim. Just because the guy who like headed it is a white dude doesn't mean that it's not anime. Like it's still made in Japan. Still the same thing with the Shelter video. Like just because it was also, you know, like I still consider that like heart wise, like and like kind of in the anime section. Because as long as it's got that, I don't know, you know what I mean. You know what I mean, right? Maybe kind of, maybe not really.
Yeah.
But
I know
yeah,
what you mean.
it's I definitely agree with more of the. It's more of a movement part than as opposed to, no, it has to be made in Japan. It has to be, you know, made by a Japanese studio. It's as long as it's got that, as long as you believe in the heart of the cards, everything is fine. All's good.
But yeah, I agree. Like, it's just like a feeling you have when you watch anime that differentiates it from like anything else, any other type of medium. Because like the definition is pretty like a gray area. Like Animax said, it's like the definition most people go by is that it's something that's an animation produced in Japan, but then it ends up being outsourced to Korea. So it's like at that point, how do we define it? And I feel like it's just gotta be like there's a certain like aspect that differentiates anime from like any other animated work, and we have to like figure out what that is. Like, what is that feeling that we have when we watch anime compared to like The Simpsons?
Samurai Jack season 5 coming soon. Anime.
Well, this is really interesting because if you think about like the 80s, shows like Thundercats were made by Japanese studios, but they were classified as cartoons. And meanwhile, on the other hand, you'll have other studios. Someone had mentioned Gumball. There was a literal studio that had actually worked on the anime fight scene that was in there. Like it was an actual, I think it was like Studio Force 4C that worked on it. I had to look into it again. But and then with like Shelter's another great point. Well, Porter Robinson and the other individual, I apologize, I'm forgetting their name right now. They had created the song. Thank you. They had created the song. A1 specifically was behind handling everything with the animation. And it's sort of like shonen. Shonen itself is not actually a genre, it's a demographic. But we've adopted shonen. We know what it means. When someone says shonen, there's a mental image that goes in our head. We know exactly what to think of when we think of shonen. You know, we think of someone starting off on a hero's journey. There's going to be it's going to be a long epic series. There's going to be a lot of cool fights. There's going to be a lot of heartfelt moments. We have sort of this mental picture in our head when someone says shonen, even though that's not actually what shonen is. And there was actually a comment mentioned that, you know, about anime for the term dying out. And that's sort of been the debate in the community for a while, is that we've adopted a definition for it, but that was never really a definitive, and it's especially now continuously being challenged, being changed. You know, I think that's a really interesting point with right now, especially with the accessibility that we have to easily communicate between studios, easily being able to outsource things, or certain studios being able to pick up other aspects. You know, it's starting to blur that line. And I think that's really great. You know, there's no clear black and white. It's shades of gray.
Let me know whenever you're ready for my rant.
Do it.
I don't think any of us are ever going to be ready.
Yeah, I don't think I can prepare myself. So you better just go.
Yeah, everyone in the chat, are you ready for my rant? And especially Black Critic Guy, are you ready? Are you ready, bro?
Yeah, Tony, you have been replaced by me.
By a meme?
By a
Kick you
meme.
out so I can.
Animac is a meme confirmed.
Replaced by a meme.
They
Actually,
kicked me out so I can.
you were a meme for a day in the Discord server. It's like a picture of you with like sunglasses, like sitting in the car, looking at the camera. Like, it was great.
Okay, so yeah, my rant. So.
Taking out your notes.
Oh God.
Yeah, Recon, I take notes, bro. That's why I win the
I have
fight,
notes as
bro.
well. No. I have notes ready as well when it comes to my rant time.
All right, cool.
Go ahead.
Sounds
You
good.
didn't even watch the video yet. You have notes.
Snap! Nah, I got
so
these
my
covered.
thing, the reason I think that Jeff or Mother's Basement video is wrong or incomplete or, you know, lacks depth is because he claims that basically there is no reason why anime can't be made in North America or in Europe. And he talks about also Wakfu, which is a French cartoon that I watched that's also clearly inspired by anime, like it's similar to Avatar as well. But what he does is he deliberately, in my opinion, he underplays the importance of the cultural identity and perspective that comes from anime. So the interesting thing about anime for us Westerners or people outside of Japan is that it actually makes us see things differently and from a different perspective, from a perspective that cannot be mimicked by a European or North American company, because Japan has its own unique historical and cultural context. And one of the things that I love about anime is that it makes me think outside the box in terms of that cultural and historical context. Like you watch an anime like Mushishi, and it is very much, a Japanese anime. You learn about the Japanese kind of perspective. You learn about Japanese history, about the outlook, and the Japanese language itself. And this is why I hate dubbed, and I keep telling people that dubbed is bad, because the Japanese language itself is hard to translate into English, and it's a very poetic language. It's a very descriptive language, and when you write it down in letters, it's easier to do that than to actually convey it in a natural sounding way vocally. So often they dumb it down with dubs. So yeah, I think that, and if you look at linguists like Noam Chomsky who study language, they will tell you that if a story is written in Japanese first, that language will actually affect how the story plays out. There is an undertone, a context there. And my problem with the Mother's Basement video is that he's trying to essentially bring about the globalization of anime. He thinks, oh, let's just bring everyone into the fold. Let's just make it a global anime. He's essentially wants to create a mech anime, if you will. Like, McDonald's, McMansions, mech anime. A basically globalized, generic concept of what anime is, which I don't think would actually be good for the industry. Because, there is such a thing as Serbian traditional dance, folk dance.
Can you demonstrate this for us?
No, I cannot. But we call it folklore, for example. It is perfectly fine for, other people to want to dance that dance. But if you then, take a Colombian traditional dance, but just call it Serbian traditional dance, like that's not the same thing. It doesn't have the same, essence to it. So that is my problem with it. I feel like he wants to globalize this term. And yeah, some people will say, like Tony likes to say that, oh, Japan is a xenophobic society and they're exclusive to foreigners. And, yeah, there's bad aspects to that, but it's not necessarily all bad, because the reason certain cultures were able to develop independently and offer us today diverse perspectives and unique things that we wouldn't have had is because they were able to resist foreigners. They were, foreigners are not always good guys. Foreigners can be conquerors. Foreigners can be imperialists who tried to destroy you and your culture. Just look what happened to Native Americans. So it is, in a sense, a good thing that Japanese society is very patriotic and very, in some ways, exclusive to foreigners, because it maintains a unique identity and gives us a unique perspective. And yeah, I would definitely disagree with the video, Mother's Basement's video, that, oh no, globalization is the future, because if anything, nationalism is making a huge comeback now with Brexit, with Trump, with all these things happening in Europe and North America. So I think that absolutely we should not, be buying into the argument that he's selling us. And I don't think that necessarily, no foreigner should ever be able to take part in an anime. I think that that Shelter is in fact an anime. But the reason I think that is because Porter Robinson went to a Japanese studio and worked with them. So for example, if I want to help create anime, I should go to Japan, I should work with a studio, I should contribute the way I can to that, but make it still an organic creation of that established studio. In that way, I will be creating an anime. And yeah, maybe it won't allow me to do exactly what I wanted to do, because there's a certain, there's certain rules and aesthetic that comes with it. But that's fine, because I don't have to. Basically, what I think the Mother's Basement video is telling us is, well, everyone should be able to do whatever they want. One of those special snowflake, basically, arguments. Well, if you want to call it anime, then you just call it anime, honey. It's okay. It's like, no, then we will lose what anime means. So yeah, sometimes you got to suck it up and say, if you want to help create an anime, you got to do it on their terms, on Japanese studio terms, or however you want to call it, because they are the ones that have created this aesthetic. So that is my rant. I do feel that if we start creating these mech anime globalized concepts, we're going to lose the essence of what anime is. Just like I would not, I think Bollywood has unique things to offer, and I would not just, call some production from, LA Bollywood because it's a musical, if you know what I mean.
Well, here's a really interesting thing. I agree. The thing is, I think Japan has always had a very strong sense of nationalism. I mean, if anyone's ever seen Gate, whoa, Boy, if that isn't an advertisement for the JSDF, I don't know what is. That hammers you over the head with nationalism. I mean, no, there's a lot of shows. Pause and Select actually talks about it a lot. In fact, that was actually one of the first memes, is just Japanese nationalism. You know, anime is Japanese nationalism, and you do get that in a lot of different works as well. There has always been a sense of self. You see in certain works, they write about, they actually not necessarily write about, but they will convey the effects of World War II, the impact that it had on Japan, the effect and thereafter. Yet again, Pause and Select, Understanding Disaster. He talks about that with Akira and so the Sekai genre. I'm starting to get off into a little bit different territory, but it's really interesting to see that impact and to see kind of how the perspective of some of this comes at and how it's looked at. But in terms of globalizing, I think you make a really good point, and I think it's true. For someone like myself who comes from basically a melting pot of various different cultures and who grew up in America, there were never really anything that was stuck to traditionally. I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, in certain sides of the family, you know, I have more of a stronger German heritage. So, you know, certain things would be here and there, but it's just, there wasn't anything necessarily pronounced. It's just sort of live your own life, which is very common amongst Americans. But the thing that's interesting, though, is that we, especially in this modern day and age with technology at our fingertips, we're almost seeing sort of a cross-cultural input, even regardless of exposure, and that's sort of breeding into it. And especially like with anime, I feel especially with anime, it's changed a lot over the years. From like what we talked about on one of our previous Rant Cafes, the direction of anime, the way it's gone, has significantly changed. If you look at it from even like the mid-2000s to even now, it's a big difference between what's being done now, what's being done then, both the type of shows, type of manga, and even with anime, it's like, it's a really interesting deal because Hayao Miyazaki has spoken up that he disliked the term anime because it represented a very narrow worldview of animation that is limited to celluloid animation, ignoring other techniques possible in animating expression. And it's also, he wasn't a fan of the type production schedule that encouraged the reduction of detail in drawings and relied on deformed images to focus on, you know, depicting the impact. It's just, he himself, someone who's synonymous with anime, disliked the term of it. So it's, I mean, it almost shows that there's always been conflict with it. I wouldn't disagree, though, in the fact that there is something special about how it's done in the production of it. As sort of an example to tie in is the JRPG, Japanese role-playing games. We define that specifically because a Japanese company has produced a role-playing game. That was generally the broad label for it. But when you think about it on the whole, especially nowadays, you have a lot of Western companies that are inspired by JRPGs, and you see a lot of elements in there. There's a Kickstarter that I back called Crymore. They're heavily inspired off it. They have a very anime-esque design style. It's very much rooted in the traditional of Japanese role-playing games, but it's done specifically by a Western company, by Westerners. So of various different cultures and races, of course, but nonetheless. And so that sort of creates this whole almost blurring of the line, I like to think of it as, especially when we also see in return, we'll see Japanese companies producing more Western style games. Most recently, we see Resident Evil 7 taking a very Outlast/Amnesia approach to their game style. I mean, the writer for Resident Evil 7 is a Westerner, if memory serves me correct. So it's, you know, we're almost starting to get to a point where there's a mixture of it. And I guess this is getting a little personal here. I apologize if this offends someone, but my personal belief is that eventually, you know, as far as the human species goes, we're going to reach a point where there isn't going to be cultural difference. We are all going to be blended. It's just going to be a blend. I don't doubt that there probably will be some purebloods in some sense, but I mean, eventually everything is going to end up just being blended together. And who knows? I mean, maybe we'll end up discovering different species, you know, going on the means. I'm getting into science fiction territory. I apologize. I tend to like that stuff.
That was a wonderful speech, Cyanide.
But it's,
really,
I mean, that's just the thing, though, is that, you know, it's sort of almost like we're approaching that blending point. And I guess maybe that is something that we do need to consider as well, reflecting upon what you said, Annie Mac, is the preservation of, that is an importance to some people. And from some of the, I guess, academic-based written works I've looked at very briefly, I'm not an expert, not even remotely close to someone to talk to about, but some of the works I've looked at is kind of posed thoughts or expressions in similarity to that.
Yeah, like my whole thing, my political perspective and philosophical perspective as well, is that we should not be blending everything because then we lose such important things that make us unique. And also, if you're blending, who gets to decide how we blend? Who gets to decide what is the dominant culture that we all blend into? The powerful. So it's going to be, the powerful Hollywood culture or whatever it may be. So that is why I very much am opposed to this type of cultural globalization, because I think that it destroys diversity, and it's always going to be dominated by someone, and it's always going to have winners and losers. And that's my whole problem with that thing. By the way, Tony, Black Critic Guy, is a proven masochist. I just saw him in the chat asking Creep Ellen to put him in timeout so he can see what it's like.
Well, considering how he was slamming you in the timeout, what were you timed out 3 times on his last stream?
Yeah, that's why. Don't you get it? He timed me out in his stream because he wanted to get timed out in my stream because he likes it. He likes the feeling of someone oppressing him and being controlled by someone, right? Like it's like masochist.
Classic Ram.
But someone asked about the Code Geass dub. Someone asked in the chat about the Code Geass dub, and it has good voice actors. But perfect example, in the very first episode, when you see Lelouch getting his Geass, the sequence in the subbed, you see Emperor Charles say, "We will join with the Ragnares," which is a huge clue that I talked about in some of my videos, including specifically a top 5 hidden messages in Code Geass. It's a huge clue about the origins of the thought elevators, about the origins of the ancient civilization, and what Charles is trying to do. In the dubbed, it is not phrased that way. There is no mention of the Ragnares as a separate civilization. So the dubbed robs you of a huge clue for Code Geass. So again, that is why I'm opposed to dubs, because they dumb it down. Who are they to judge what is important and what isn't, right? They're not the creators. So when the creator gives you a hint in the sub, like in the show, and then that is subbed more literally, you get that hint. If some producer in North America decides this isn't important, let's dub over it differently, you lose that. So think about it, guys. You guys who defend dub, think about it. It's a problem. You're losing. It's being dumbed down. You're losing the cultural stuff, and you're losing certain clues. You're losing what the author intended for you to hear.
I laugh here because it's actually really funny, because I was researching up on this a few days ago because I actually wanted to, I was looking at maybe potentially doing a video on this in the future. So there's this company in the West that was called Working Design, and they were infamous for bringing over some more obscure titles that generally wouldn't have brought over without it. One of the more infamous one of the more famous series they brought over was Lunar, Silver Star Story, and Eternal Blue, the Arc the Lad series, JRPGs, and so forth. But they were known for their elaborate packaging, putting a lot of various details into it. They were also known for putting pop cultural references and various other things into their translations. And to say the least, that's always been something that's debated. Recently, I actually got a chance to play through one of their games, Albert Odyssey, and I posted a tweet where I'm pretty sure this wasn't in the original script, but where a lady's like, "My daughter learned a new language at school. She calls it Ebonics." And this little girl is like, "Fool, what you doing in my house? I asked you a question." And it's one of those things where I saw it and I read it and I smirked while I was reading it, and I was kind of thinking about it. I'm like, well, okay, so the game originally came out, I think, 1998. So it was for the Sega Saturn, to date things there. And it's just, I was still laughing at it now. So, I mean, that sort of posed the question. And that's always sort of been the debate. Now, Victor Ireland, who was the president by this, and he's both liked and hated, his philosophy is that, try to capture the essence of that character, but also to spice up the dialogue. And he looked at, recently there was a translation of Lunar Silver Star Harmony, which was the PSP port of Lunar Silver Star. He looked at the translation done by Xseed, which was another company, a Western company, as being very dry and dull. And that's always been a debate with people, and rightfully so, because that's just it, sort of the preservation of the accuracy. I mean, obviously, it's hard to do a complete 1-1 because different words have different meanings and how you do it. I'm actually working with someone right now who's translating, and I'm kind of doing the I'm basically doing the programming aspects for it. And it's very interesting kind of watching him go about this, and he's kind of informing me of certain things as well. And it's really insightful. I mean, like with any language, when you transition from one to the other, obviously you can try to go for a 1-1, but you're never going to get a complete literal translation. And that's always been a debate with fans. I know when they did the dub of Orphan and Generator Gall, ADV did it, they changed a few things, and that actually pissed me off because it kind of alters some of the story elements. But then again, sometimes we'll get things where Ghost Story is more infamous, where ADV did a dub of that, and it's hilarious. It's absolutely hysterical. So, I mean, does it depend on the material that you're doing? Does it depend on, for the accuracy, especially if it's a point like Code Geass where you're leaving out important material? I mean, that clearly affects a deeper understanding of the show. So, it poses a really peculiar question, because even then I find it almost comes down to personal flavor. I know people who will go, I don't want it to be dry and dull. I like it being a little interesting. Other people feel that, hey, it's like, does that become more personal? And like you said, who gets to decide this and why? I'm sorry. I was researching a lot of this lately, so.
Those are really good points. And I've done some translation as well, especially from Serbian to English to Serbian, and also French, because I practice French. So I've done some translating from French to English of like philosophical works by Rousseau. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get the essence of it. And my problem is that with dub, like they're working with studio actors, and the studio actors, they might not, they have to make the lips match. And it's like, well, in Japanese, this word is much longer, but in English it's shorter, so we have to make him say something extra. Or maybe he says he's supposed to say more in Japanese, but we can't, so we make him say something less. So that is the thing. Like, I don't know, people are like, should we have a sub versus dubbed debate? And
Yes.
What is the debate? Like, I just explained it to everyone. Sub is better. When you watch dub, it's just lazy. It's just lazy, and you're robbing yourself of the full experience.
I reject you from saying that. Dub is good, yo.
Give me one argument. I just gave you a bunch of great arguments.
Yeah, I know. But you can't disrespect the fact that people have different opinions, and many people prefer English voice actors rather than hearing Japanese voice actors.
I don't think he's saying that
That's the thing.
dub is bad. Actually, he does say that dub is bad.
No, dub is not bad. It's not bad at all.
No. I don't think that's what he's saying though. I just think that he's saying that
Okay.
that he prefers the sub, or
I
more
know.
so he thinks
I
that
prefer
it is
sub as well. I watch subbed, but bro, I want you to name me one anime that is badly dubbed.
I mean,
Rude explorer.
No, I want you to name me a good anime show that is very well subbed. Dubbed very badly.
Yu-Gi-Oh! The 4Kids dub of anything.
Clanad is a perfect example.
I liked the Clanad dub.
Man,
I know
fuck
they
Yu-Gi-Oh.
butcher the names. I know it, but I don't know. That's what I started with, and yeah.
Oh, Black Criticai said he can name several bad dubbed anime.
There's a lot. There's a lot. That's the thing. It's a lot more rare that I find a good dub, right? Like I
Yu-Gi-Oh
realize
is not an anime.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Well, we progressed a lot with dub. I mean, if you look at the early 90s to where we're at right now, dubbing has gone a long way, and it's continuing to grow. And it's like, obviously, we're way behind Japan because Japan's been doing vocal work and vocal training for so much longer. They have a better system set up than we do, so it's tough. But here's an interesting point to put in for dub, and this will be a little interesting. So there's this channel called Twin Perfect, and they actually did this really extensive video talking about the original dubs for Silent Hill 2 and 3, and then the redubs. And a big thing they talk about is Silent Hill 2 is always considered bad voice acting. But these were people that were chosen directly by Team Silent, the original developers, and portrayed in the ways that they wanted them to. So on the one hand is you had people who were not necessarily prolific voice actors, but were actors in a sense, and they would act out these scenes for it because they would do a motion capture for that and then kind of go from there. And versus professional voice actors, like actual A-list professional voice actors. And one of the complaints is that they made it sound too anime-ish. And one of the things that made it too anime-ish is that, pretty sure if you've ever listened to a dub or if you've seen an anime, there's points where there always has to be a noise or something where it's like you get like various mouth noises or just like sounds, like there's never a moment of silence.
Yeah.
And they actually do that where there's a compilation, and it's a really interesting look at in terms of what an anime voice actor does for their work against someone who was specifically hired for a part by the original developer and so forth. It's really long, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily like it, but it's really interesting because they're so very different. It's worlds apart, because while at one end of the spectrum, the original dub was considered horrendous, if you look at some of the nuances and how it's done, it doesn't seem as bad. Like, one of the notorious things is there's a character who talks like this, and it's really it's funny because you're like, wow, that's really terrible. But the thing is, the character is supposed to have tremendous psychological issues. She was molested and raped by her father, and she's like a 16-year-old girl, and it's just, they're trying to convey this, that she's not right, and in terms of doing so auditorily, hey, Tony, why don't you get on here? We're gonna have some jousting. By the way, Yakumo is a terrible waifu.
Oh God, no!
Okay.
Don't start with that.
But
no, like I've seen some really good dubs like Cowboy Bebop and Gurren Lagann, and Code Geass is not bad. But again, then with Code Geass, which is ranked as one of the best dubs.
High School DxD is a good dub.
I haven't watched High School DxD. Like, I've only seen a few episodes, so I can't say.
The dub was really good. I really love the dub.
Like, for Cowboy Bebop, for Code Geass, and for Gurren Lagann, I've watched both. So I've watched the shows multiple times in both subbed and dubbed. And then I can say, yes, I do like aspects of the dubbed, especially Cowboy Bebop. I thought that was probably the best dub ever. But again, even with that, we know that in Code Geass, a detail is left out. Now, maybe other details were left out in Gurren Lagann and Cowboy Bebop that I notice. But the problem is that, yeah, that happens. And also, yeah, there's some subbed are very, like, for me, Dragon Ball Super is, like, we listen to Goku's voice in Dragon Ball Super is annoying as fuck. But, because it's so childish and whiny. But I think generally, overall, subbed are just superior unless you just don't feel like reading, which to me, as someone who reads, is like, why wouldn't you feel like reading? Why wouldn't you want to hear the mannerisms, the gestures, all that stuff in the original language, the way it's supposed to be, the way the authors intended it?
See, I get that, but at the same time, like I like reading, it's a good time, but at the same time, when I'm watching TV, my initial mindset, before I started watching subs, my initial mindset was, I don't want to read if I'm watching something, right? But then, that being said, now pretty much all I watch are subs, so oops.
Thing is,
because you listen to Reason, and Reason's name is Animac. Bryn, you haven't said anything in a while, so what are your thoughts on subs versus dubbed?
There are some shows that I prefer actually watching dubbed, only because the content itself is, I know it's not a good show. Like, if I'm gonna watch a show that I was half watching in dub, like if I'm gonna watch Free Eternal Summer, like, really, I don't really need to read the subs to feel the feels, like I'm only half watching it. Like, it's fine if I don't understand all the cultural, like, nuances and, like, all the things that are going on, because it's going to be dumb, and I just kind of want to half listen to something as I'm doing something else. But if I'm fully devoting myself to an anime, it definitely has to be in sub, because, like you mentioned, like, it has to be, you have to get those cultural, things that are going on, and those that are hinted, and, like, even the word isms kind of they matter. Like, it really matters how they say the words and how they phrase things. Whereas in the dub, you really don't get that. But if I'm watching a crap show and I know it's a crap show, aka I've watched it before, like I know what's going to happen, I'll watch it in dub just because I just kind of want to remember those moments as I look over, giggle a little, maybe laugh at the voice actors if they're being really bad. But like, I'm okay with watching dub, but generally speaking, I still prefer subbed.
And that's a good point actually about just watching like anime, like kind of guilty pleasure anime or anime not fully watching. Like Girls Bravo, I guess, would be my version of free. But
you know.
But yeah, like I guess, you know, rewatching an anime or watching an anime, but you're not really full, you don't care about like, you know, you're not gonna make a theory video on it or anything. That I understand, but like I feel like subbed is still the much more immersive, more complete experience. Briggs, to you.
See, I don't agree with immersive. I feel like I could be more immersed in a dub anime, even though I would prefer to watch it in sub because, like you said, I don't want things to be lost in translation, and it annoys me when things are lost in translation because I do watch things in sub first, and then when I go to watch it in dub, and you notice these differences, and those, like, they definitely get on my nerves. So like, but I feel like if you're watching a dub, you're not multitasking. You're just focusing like directly, because when you're reading, you're not 100% paying attention to everything else. We've become so good at it because we've watched so much anime, but I feel like it's still not the same. I feel like you could be more immersed in a good dub.
Well, I disagree, but that's also English is not my first language anyway, so I'm kind of used to like switching between languages.
What's your main language, Uproar?
My first language is Serbian, and then
So is there a Serbian anime that you watch with Serbian dub, with Serbian subs?
I doubt they haven't because the Serbian market is so small. So in Serbia, they just show them in subbed.
Oh, okay.
And I'd like to say that the subtitles a lot of the time lose translation already.
That's true.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
very true.
So if like even with subs, it's harder if you're
So it's
not.
like, why take that extra step to dub? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many layers that it can
So
be
yeah,
lost.
let's pass it to Recon. Mr. Talks a lot, talks big.
I
us some
talk a
good-
lot, really.
Give us some good reasons why dubbed should be preferred ever.
I'm not saying dubbed should be preferred, but in many cases, I do watch subbed first. Just like Briggs said, I watch subbed, and then I watch dubbed to compare. So, let's take High School DxD, one of my most favorite animes. I've watched it completely in subbed all 3 seasons. It was great. I loved it. The story was fantastic. Then I watched it completely in dubbed, and it was really good. I loved the voice actors for the dubbed. So you see, when I watched the dubbed version, I mostly, first of all, listen to the voice actors. If I hate one single voice actor from the dubbed, if I really find him or her so annoying, I literally just say, no, I don't want to watch this shit anymore. Nope, subbed is better. If the story is not interesting with the dubbed voice actors, then I also say, no, I don't want to watch that shit. But in many cases, dubbed could be better than subbed. There are, let's say, are there any dubbed better than subbed? Do you guys
Dragon
know
Ball
any?
Z.
Yes, Briggs. Yes.
Dragon Ball Z.
There was
I-
actually note that the creator of El Hazard felt that the dub was better than the sub.
I just love Dragon Ball Z and dubbed. I just feel that it's much more better than the subbed version because I don't like Goku's subbed his Japanese voice actor. I really find it annoying.
I'm pretty sure it's an actress.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Why the fuck would a female voice actor be doing Goku?
It
It's
happens
not
a lot.
uncommon though.
Happens a lot.
It's actually
Yeah.
very common.
Yo, it's just so weird. I found it really weird. See, that's why I don't like it. Just ruins it. When you find out that a woman is voice acting a male character, it just doesn't feel right. It just
Check your privileges.
2017, guys. 2017.
Hey, did you know that Bart Simpson is a woman?
fuck you.
World,
It is.
your world
yeah.
has just been
He's
crushed.
gonna be shook now.
No.
Telling the
90%
truth.
of Hunter x Hunter is done by women. Like
It's true,
Kurapika,
yeah.
Gon, Kahlua, all women.
Oh, yeah.
Luffy's
And
voiced by-
Luffy is calling Clickender. Sorry, I totally cut you off there. That's my bad.
Just dropping all the facts.
And the worst
Yeah.
twist of all, Kirito is voiced by a woman.
Bryce
No,
Carpenter.
he is not voiced by a woman.
Well,
He
not
is
the top
voiced
one.
by a very romantic guy. No homo, by the way. No.
Hey, Anime Recon. I posted a video on Kirito today.
Really? I
Yeah,
did not see
I did.
that. Top 10 facts about Kirito?
Yes.
I'm watching
you
that
already
shit,
knew.
boy. Oh, I'm watching that shit. Yeah, I'm
By the way,
watching
I was just kidding about Kirito. I just wanted to get on your nerves. I don't think he's voiced by a woman.
if he was voiced by a woman, I would say like fuck Kirito.
Wow.
Oh,
Because he's voiced by a woman. I don't like it. I just hate it. It's just so fucking annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
So what if a male voiced a female role?
I was gonna
It
say
would
I
be
could do
more
a man voice, you know.
Annoyingly. Yeah.
I
Bryn,
think-
do
Get all
your
those
best-
views.
Do your best male impression. Bryn.
I really
Doing
don't
the
care.
best man.
I really don't care unless it's like really jarring. And for Goku, it's definitely really jarring. It's just get like, it's like, what the hell is this? Why does he have this squeaky ass voice? Like, why did he never go through puberty?
Yeah.
But like, if it's a woman doing a guy's voice, but it's like not that, you know, not in your face bad, I don't mind it. Like, I really don't care because again, it's a fantasy anyway. Like these people don't actually exist, so it's like, you know, you're suspending belief anyway. It's not that big a deal to me personally. But what else was I gonna say? Yeah, Tony, if you want to get in here and give your own 2 cents on this whole thing, you have the link.
Mm-hmm. Tony is gonna right now. Tony's gonna raid us. Hashtag Tony raid in the.
Yeah, rate us, Tony, and
Tony's gonna raid us.
defend your honor because I said that Girls Bravo was a more realistic romance story than School Rumble.
Hashtag Tony raid.
Tony, if you come in and raid, and if you're victorious, I'll buy you an Opie mouse pad.
Oh, my mouse pad, best mouse pad.
Best mouse.
So what if Recon? What if you have an Opie mouse pad that was made by a man?
So
Triggered.
I actually do have an Opie mousepad of Yoko from Gurren Lagann right now.
First of
right
all,
now?
Right now.
she is one of my 4 waifus, so please stop.
Please
No.
stop bashing my waifu.
No, man, I can't stop. Like
Arm
every
waifu.
time I have to rest my wrist on those Opies. it
Don't
just
rest
feels so
your wrist.
don't rest your anything
my
on
waifu,
those opie.
buddy.
Don't rest your
Them's fighting words. By the way, guys, for my 4 waifus, we talked about this a few weeks ago. I think I will go with Yoko, Colin, Valletta, and the blonde girl. I think her name is Shizuku or something from High School of the Dead, because she's a nurse.
Shizuka. It's Shizuka.
because she's a nurse.
It's
Shizuka
Nurse
or
Shizuka. No, it's
Shizuka?
Shizuka.
Okay, yeah,
Ladies
so I'll
and
go with her
gentlemen,
because
you
she's a
joined us
nurse, so she can nurse me, you know, take care of me. And
Wait,
the
the
other ones
one-
are all fighters, so they can protect me. And also, Valletta can cook well, so as well. So like we've got everything covered.
All your bases covered. Gotcha.
All the bases.
Glad you could join us, guys, for What the F is Anime? We're now talking about waifus.
Yeah, we're now talking about waifus.
Waifus.
Everything comes down to waifus.
Part of anime, bro.
It is.
Deal with it.
Yuno Gasai, best waifu confirmed.
Also, why did you
It was
just say
crazy.
what the F and then in your first impression series everyone's swearing every 5 seconds?
Because
That's because I'm being polite. This is Rant Cafe. That's first impressions.
Yeah, it's not polite cafe.
It's not polite.
That's right, it's not
Polite
polite
your
cafe.
face.
Oh, no, the raid has begun.
That is Tony.
Tony's
If
here.
that-
He's gonna try and get the mouse
Oh,
pad.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh no, he
There we
left.
go, yeah.
He
Never
was-
mind.
he couldn't
We
accept the
have
challenge.
defended the stream, yay!
Quickest raid ever.
Quickest
Briefest
raid
raid
ever.
By the way, everyone, the links to everyone here, their channels are in the description. Be sure to check them out if you haven't already. And I also want to thank all you guys who have been regular Rant Cafe attendees. It really means a lot to us. I see you all in the chat, Anbu and Cookie and all you guys, Creep Ellen, so many, like Emilia, a lot of you guys. Helvian, I've saw him a bunch of times. So yeah, thank you all
The
for
raid
being
has
here.
begun.
And also thank you for over
Great.
8,000 subscribers. That's awesome too. Like crazy.
You can thank me for that.
Yeah, it's cool.
You're welcome.
I've come to slay hoes.
Slay
I'm talking
hoes?
to you right now.
Slay hole.
Is it you, Cyanide? Is it you? There. Hello. Hello,
I'm offering you the opportunity to win an Opie mousepad of your choosing. Will you accept? Yes or no?
Yes.
Cyanide.
But first,
Cyanide. Can I buy you a REM opine?
I got some ass kicking to do with someone named Recon and a bitch.
Why you want to ass kick me? Man?
Why are you hiding your face, bro?
That's my
your
sexy
face,
face. That's my
Tony.
battle face right there. You see that battle suit?
Yeah, you got your gray suit. I like it. It's nice.
Yes. That's what they call the slay them hoes suit.
Yeah, look at that look in his eye. Look at that look in his eye. Look at that smirk. That is
exactly.
That is a slay
That's
them
the
hoes
smirk of a macro killer right there.
I don't. Unfortunately, I sold my slay them hoes suit last week. I have to buy a new one.
Macklenot, you do have your slay 'em hoes mustache though.
Ooh.
That mustache.
Hey,
that
yeah.
mustache is the one.
That's why I sold the suit, because I'm like, oh, I got that.
Can I just say you guys have made a very entertaining video. Live chat's pretty entertaining. I gotta say, very lit.
Thank you,
Lit-
Tony.
lit
Thank you.
AF.
We love.
Yeah, it's just I realize that you just need to take out the people that love Girls Bravo and High School DxD, and I think this be an epic masterpiece of a show. Definitely, for sure.
10 out of 10.
Listen,
I don't actually love grilling you, Tony. Relax.
Really, I don't believe it. I don't believe
Second
it.
of all, I am the greatest entertainer of all time, so it's no wonder.
Well,
that Rant
actually, no.
Café-
It's Macklenot with a combination of Bryn that are the greatest entertainers of all time.
Back
Bryn is literally taking over the chat. She's like,
So that-
everyone's like asking questions about Bryn.
Well, I'm not saying that these guys are not amazing, but I'm the one who brought them all together. Think about that.
Actually, correction.
You-
It was all day
Even
anime.
you were
who did
here
it.
because I brought Bryn on board, and then she brought you on board. What do you feel? How do you feel about that, Tony?
And actually, I was in association with Macklenot and Cyanide Blizzard, and Cyanide found me. He discovered my channel and said, "Hey, you are like the smallest channel I ever seen, and I would love to help you grow by bringing you onto this thing called Rant Café." I'm like,
Thank you, Simp. I would really like the views, please.
I like that.
and then that's how it happened. You know, now I have over 2 subscribers. It's amazing.
You are amazing.
Did you just say you have over 2
Breathtaking.
subscribers?
Over 2. I think
I'm proud of you.
third today. You know,
One
it's,
of them
proud.
is him.
it's gonna happen. I like it. You know, but I'm sorry I crashed your little stream.
Don't be
I-
sorry.
First of all, it's not little. Don't be sorry, but don't call it little. Ya bish.
By the way, Anime Recon, I just want to say, bro, I love you, bro. I'm sorry you gotta leave, man.
Guys. Yeah. Guys, we're gonna have to go now.
Yeah, no problem,
Running away
Recon,
from the
bro.
battle, everybody. I'm
Appreciate
the
having
winner.
you.
I'm the
It's
winner.
already like 12 at where Recon lives, so yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate
I'm
having
gonna
you, bro, and
yeah.
we'll see you again soon.
Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Comment section hashtag Recon no Piku. Show me some support.
I'm gonna do that right now.
I really respect him for that, for the Recon no Pico. I want nothing Pico, anything associated with anything that I have to do, so props.
Yeah, I put my support for you, brother.
Oh, thank
Much
you.
support.
Thank you, Tony. You're awesome, man.
Oh, and by the way, Rant Café is the greatest podcast on the internet, and I know because Anbu said it. So it's not me saying it; it's Anbu saying it. And
Who's Anbu?
so yeah,
Most of what he says is right. So
yeah. So you know how like
He's
movies like they
correct.
include quotes where it's like, you know, the best movie of this year, The New Yorker or whatever. Well, we have the greatest podcast of all time, Anbu. There you go.
Well, let's give him an applause then.
Yeah.
Cyanide, you didn't applaud.
I actually did. Take that back, you son of a bitch.
savagery.
Whoa. Says the guy that instantly mutes himself like a coward.
Say that again to my face, and I'll punch you. You're going down
Mike,
to Brownie
like a
Town.
fucking coward, like the character from Hacksaw Ridge.
I don't appreciate being
Pacifist.
using that reference. I would prefer a Get Out reference, a movie that you recently covered on your
Okay,
YouTube channel.
you want to get out reference? Get the fuck out of my house, you white motherfucker.
Nice.
How's that for get out?
Hey
with?
Tony, how about you say that to Cyanide's
good.
face, which is an image of a cute female anime.
Exactly. He can't even show me his face.
You're not
That'd be
showing
a
your face
double
right now, to be
win.
fair.
Well, hold on here. Let me turn on my camera. All right. There we go.
Oh. Oh my god, what a beautiful face.
It's so beautiful.
That is
So beautiful. I think
Hashtag face reveal.
I'm in tears just looking at it.
I know.
That's gonna be the thumbnail, right? It's a full green
All
screen.
right, just green screen. That's gonna be it. I hope it is.
it's beautiful.
So are you? Is that a green screen? You're just wearing a complete green suit? Is that what's like? Even your head, you have a mask.
Green suit,
green.
camouflage. I'm doing an ASMR video later on utilizing a green screen. Unfortunately, I got into some green paint, just painting some walls, and I don't know. I don't think it's going to work out terribly well, so I may have to shower after this before I do my ASMR video.
Do you use the green screen to slay them hoes?
Why don't you make an ASMR showering video? I mean, everything is possible nowadays.
Everything is possible.
So what was the topic again?
Oh,
What
The topic was your
anime?
face.
Anime.
My face. My face is a beautiful thing.
Face.
That's why Rose actually came over to my house about a week ago, and I had to turn her down because my face couldn't handle it. So
Because my face can.
I'm just
By
like,
the
I'm
way-
sorry, but my
by
face
the way-
says no.
I know Tony sounds like he's talking a lot of trash, but I know you won't believe him that he's any good with the ladies. However, I actually saw a video of him hanging out with a bunch of women.
It was a picture. It was a
I
picture.
have to say, good work, Tony. Good work.
So
Well
it was a picture, and don't say that in front of Bryn, okay? She gets really jealous. See, look, she's already
I'm
getting
ju-
angry.
I'm just. How dare you?
Speechless right there. But I appreciate you liking my picture, Animac. Next time I'll invite you to the party, but you got to bring the popcorn though.
I will fly down there, get whatever you use to beat off gators, and I will see you there.
I just feel like you're gonna land right in the middle of the swamp. I see
Yeah,
you just like,
just
I'm coming, Tony.
Like
Swinging
parachute
a
out.
club.
First of all, I don't have accent, idiot.
You don't have accent?
I don't
What
have
is
accent. And second of all, I never been to Florida.
Ooh. Well, I guess I'm gonna leave this chat now. Arrivederci, do svidania.
Yeah, arrivederci. Oh, good. Eastern European accent there, Tony. Good work.
What can I say? I'm enlightened accent man. Just like all the dubs I hear. They have perfect accents.
That give you excellent. I'm excellent. man.
There is a reason for dubs, and it's to make Tony good at Western.
Accents, you know. I got the Russian accent from watching
Russia's guy has best accent for sure.
But so you guys were talking about dubs. I didn't see the beginning of your video. I came in about 15 minutes when you guys started.
Well,
so
because we're talking about not dubs, but what is anime? What defines anime?
have you guys come to a conclusion to it, or
The conclusion is that you suck.
I came here to have a civil discussion, and Briggs has to go and drop that right now. Jeez, what would Luffy and the gang think right now at this very moment?
I mean, they're pirates, so anything goes.
Bro. I'm just trolling everyone. I love it.
I came here to have a civil discussion.
Before Rant Café, Cyanide was one of the nicest people you'd ever meet. And now he's just trolling everybody. He's been corrupted by the influence of Rant Café, where no one is safe and nothing is sacred.
Nothing is
Right,
sacred.
Tony,
By the way, did
Mac's
anyone
about
see-
to make you his bitch.
Did anyone see in Mother's Basement's video the shirt he was wearing?
Yes. It might have triggered me a tad, but yes.
So
Wait, what
I
was
figured
it?
would have triggered the fuck out of you, Mac.
Wait, what was it? Mac, what was it?
It
Mac.
was a transmutation circle, and it was Nina and Alexander doing the Dragon Ball fuse.
Oh no! Oh
So
no!
terrible.
And
so
it
good.
just- it
I've
hurt
tweeted
so
out a picture like that before.
You gotta appreciate the creativity of it, Joe. That's pretty ingenious.
I'm just impressed that that meme isn't dead yet. Like, I'm not even mad. Like, every time I see it, a part of my soul dies a little bit more. But at the same time, I'm like, good job, good job. You're keeping the dream alive.
It's not dead because so many people still get so triggered. That's why.
I know.
Yeah.
It's great.
Every time someone posts that meme, everyone's like, "No, too soon, no."
Too soon.
Too
It will
soon.
never be too soon.
It'll always be too soon.
Always.
It's brilliant.
I can't wait to see a transmutation circle with Bryn and Rose doing the fusion dance. Bam. And then they'll look just the same.
I remember, I think two or 3 years ago at Anime North, me and my friend Mike wanted to do a cosplay. He was going to be Shao Tucker and I was going to be Nina, except his he was going to wear a shirt that had like it was like a missing shirt and it had a picture of like Alexandra and Nina. Reward if found sort of thing. But we didn't do that.
Why, man? That would have been beautiful.
It would have, but we were both poor and it was too last minute.
You could have like held up a camera and just see all the anime fans just break out in tears. Like, hey, have you seen these two?
I know, and I mean, as much as I strive off of anime fan tears, it's just it didn't work out.
I'm sorry, it didn't work out.
It's okay. You know what? I'll get over it someday.
By the way, we're gonna have a few of us are gonna be going to Anime North. It's gonna me. I'm going. Gozen, of course. Macklenot is going. Briggs is going. And Vector Maximus is going from the Discord server. So if anyone in the chat or in the comments, if you're watching the stream afterwards, is going to Anime North, let us know. Cyanide is also going to go because I'm going to bring a small table. And in that way, Cyanide can be with us in spirit.
Cyanide, please dress up as Daft Punk.
Yes.
Keep the mystery of your identity going. Please do that. Do that for me, because I can't go.
If you dress up as one of the guys, I'll dress up as the other guy. I love Daft Punk.
Actually, no, you
Yes.
cannot. Okay, I refuse.
No.
All right.
No.
If you dress up as that, I'm flying to Anime North. I'm pulling out the pistol.
But you
and I'm
won't
gonna
know if
whip
it's
you.
me. You won't know if it's me, so relax.
I will know it's you, because I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask all the anime to plant a chip in your helmet.
See,
And I'm gonna use my beeper, and I'm gonna find you.
but if you fly to Anime North, Tony, that's gonna ruin my vlog plans to get like a paper cutout of yours and Rose's face and have you guys in my vlog. So I mean, you can if you want, but you're gonna ruin all my plans. Just
I gotta say, I don't know if you're joking or not, but I would love to see that.
I'm
But do it.
I'm not joking.
I would love to see. I'm here with Rose and Black Critic Guy. How you
I would
guys
love
doing?
to see that. Wouldn't you love to see that?
Hey.
I would love to see that.
I'd love to see that, Jackie.
His name is Lee. God damn it!
I know.
Come on, Lee.
Oh, I love that. I love that. By the way, guys, I just had a thought occurred to me as we were talking. We should make a Rant Cafe trailer.
Yes.
Who would edit it?
I don't
like
know.
trailers.
That's the beauty of it. I have no idea.
I nominate Cyanide Blizzard.
He is good.
To be the trailer.
Just
The whole trailer.
Like a zoom
green
into
screen,
his like
yeah.
avatar face, and he's just like Rant Cafe.
Wow.
It says Inception, but then you cross it out. It's like just Rant Cafe.
That would be a lot of fun though, because we're all insane and we all have interesting content on our respective channels. Yeah, that would be probably a lot of work, but it would be pretty fun. I don't know. Let's touch base on this. And guys in the chat, guys in the comments, if you're watching after, let us know some ideas for the trailer, the Rant Cafe trailer. How should we do this? How should we do it so that Giguk is jealous of Rant Cafe?
I nominate Ambu to be the centerfold of the trailer.
He'll be the one with all the quotes. It's like
All the
amazing,
quotes.
incredible. And then
Yes,
just like
exactly.
scroll through our
We'll have-
faces. Yeah.
We'll have a real channel where we have quotes by Ambu just saying greatest podcast of all time, stuff like that.
BCG is babe. There you go. That's all. He'll say that constantly throughout. If there's anybody I love, it's BCG. Ambu 2016.
Yeah. No, man, it could work. It could work.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone, I'm currently working on a video. I got the script already about iron-blooded orphans. new Gundam series. So look out for that this weekend. Should be out.
I'm also working on an Iron Blooded Orphans Gundam video, and it's all the reasons that this video is better than Animax Gundam video.
And then I'll do a response video.
And then I'll do a reaction video.
And then I'll react to your reaction of Bryn's response. What?
Mag, you should drop your video before mine. That would be even better.
You're right. Reasons why my video's better than
I'll count down 10
It's not
facts
even
over
out
video.
yet.
Yeah.
And then I will forward the video to All Day Anime, and then he'll react to my reaction, of Bryn's reaction, to my reaction, to Macklenot's video, to Mac's video.
I feel like this is like the hole in the bottom of the sea song. Like hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a like I forget the words.
You fucked it up.
Oh no! So now I gotta remember it.
Yeah,
Fucked it up.
I'm actually excited for this though. I'm gonna get a little bit personal with this video, and I'm really enjoying the show, and I'm gonna be talking about Gurren Lagann a lot. So it's like, yeah, it's like a really exciting video, guys.
I will legit react to your videos if you
Do it. Do it, man. Get me all those views.
I will react to your video, Animac, and then Macklenot, and then Bryn's response.
I mean,
We'll be
that's
like,
clearly the reason why I'm doing a response, so to get all the views, right? So like, gotta
No,
make
that's
this
why you
all
cut-
a team group.
Animax a hot topic.
That's why
Yeah.
you cut your hair. That's why you cut your hair, Bryn. Let's not get that twisted.
It's
now.
like,
And Helvian says that after I make my video, people are gonna get offended, so I'm gonna have to make an apology. Yeah.
yes.
And then
And
you're
then
gonna
take it down afterwards.
After this is all done,
And
we
take it
all have
down.
to make apologies.
What about Briggs? Does he have to make an apology for liking
Yes,
One
he
Piece?
has to make an apology.
Luffy doesn't apologize.
I don't know what for, but he has to make one.
For Luffy?
My-
For Luffy.
My life philosophy
Apologize.
is never apologize. Never appease, never apologize, never give an inch, or else they'll
You
take
No
just, you
regrets.
just said you were sorry like 30 minutes ago. So you have proven
You're
yourself to be
Canadian.
false.
Like, take that
Yeah.
that statement back 100%.
Mhm.
No, I'm not. I wasn't born in Canada, so sorry.
You've lived here for long enough. The culture affects you.
Does it though? Does it?
You're walking down the street. Sorry.
Did you just apologize for not being born in Canada?
No, I didn't.
Got him. See, this is what you guys get at Rant Café. This is what you ought to know. This is what you get. Just total derailing.
What even is topic? What do you
The
do?
topic is, why is Cyanide Blizzard silent?
When is Cyanide Blizzard not silent? Oh,
Because he's always obsessed with the idea that he's dominating the conversation, so he never wants to talk.
This is very true.
I mean, it was kind of like the Cyanide Blizzard show for most of it. The one I watched, at least.
Cyanide
see,
Cafe.
I don't mind because Cyanide makes good points.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas
When
I'm
he's
just
making
like, hey.
when he's making good points, I don't mind. When he's freaking out on everyone, that's when we get into trouble.
Yeah, he makes great points for slow people. Ooh. Ba-da-da-da-da. Meh, meh, meh.
Cyanide, when is the secret project nearing completion?
I've actually started work on it right now, so
Nice. I can't wait. I'm actually excited for that.
You
Excited.
You fucking
Fuck.
tease.
Hey, Animac, when you gonna do the thing for the other secret project?
Am I the only one that hasn't yet?
Well, no, it's you, Rose, and Tony.
Me, I haven't done it yet either.
I have
Okay,
three
Tony, when are you
before.
gonna do it so I can do it a little bit before you?
Or wait.
I will try to do it this weekend, Macklenot, because I love you, and I don't want Bryn to bring that shotgun to my house yet. So it will be done, I promise.
Bryn is from Western Canada too. They got shotguns everywhere.
Yeah.
Western,
We got our cowboy boots and our shotguns here. We're gonna go to all the rodeos.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, like look at Bryn's
Rodeo?
shirt, guys. She's clearly
See?
into the rodeo.
I'm representing.
I'm picturing Bryn right now with a shotgun and a moose hat. Out in the woods. Out in the woods, just like I'm ready to kick some ass.
R.I.P. Luke. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my god. You gotta take a picture like that, Bryn. Just for
I
me.
should.
But yeah, then Mac,
I'm trying to think
this
back.
weekend for me too, hopefully.
That's cool.
That's the
And
plan.
honestly, there's no rush. Like everyone's got their own channels and stuff. Some of us are in Korea, which makes it a little tough. So
Many of us,
Is it Briggs? Briggs in Korea?
Briggs is in Korea, actually.
most
Oh.
of us here are actually currently in Korea, you guys.
I'm actually
Yeah,
half
I'm not
Korean.
first.
Actually, plot twist. We have something to tell everybody in chat. We're all actually in Korea. We're all actually Korean. I'm not even white. This is
Hashtag Korea
Sad.
Cafe.
When one person goes there,
Camera's
we all
not
go there.
on.
Korea Cafe.
The reason my
Rant
camera's
Café
not
sticks
on is because
together.
I left my webcam in America, so now I have to do it
America.
like this in Korea.
Very good point. Very good point, Tony. And by the way, if anyone's wondering why don't we get back on topic, it's because my rant solved our topic. In my rant, I established what the fuck anime was. It was done. And yeah,
Can I just
that's
hear
why
like
we
a
can move on
snippet?
to other things.
What if
Can
I
I
drop
hear
a
a
counter
snippet?
argument right now?
Can I hear a snippet of the rant? I think I missed that part.
I think you're gonna have to go back, Tony, and listen to it because it was long and beautiful.
It has great rewatch value.
Yeah.
Our Rant Cafés.
I want Bryn's Bryn's opinion on this. Was it really long and beautiful as he proclaims?
I was gonna say it was long.
Okay, but it wasn't beautiful. So now you're gonna have to do a summary PhD, man. That's one thing you need to do as a PhD.
I can
Owner.
summarize. Anime needs to be made in Japan. Dubs suck, and Kamina. That's
Yeah. Number 3 for sure.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
But say it in
Done.
Japanese. Say it in Japanese and then put subtitles.
who the hell do you think I am, Moo?
Ooh, this.
Oh,
I
look,
just-
guys, it's Filthy Frank.
Minasan,
Right.
minasan kodi. I can't go on. I'm sorry. I'll sit down.
Konnichiwa, motherfuckers. Basically something like that. I can't do
Was
the
that
voice. I don't know how he does it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cyanide with the killer last line right there.
I need to go back and get that sound clip and use it for something sometime because that was I don't know. I just don't expect
For
to
the
be
special
Cyanide.
video. For the
Come on.
special video.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it my ringtone. Just anytime someone texts me, I could be like hang out with my mom or something, get a text just like "Konnichiwa, motherfucker." Like, all right. Sorry, ma, I gotta take this.
Oh,
You
this
do
would
that,
be
and you
great.
gotta send it to me. You gotta send it to me as well.
Do this for
Yeah.
real. Send it to everyone.
Oh, I will.
Mhm.
I will.
You know that guy that says "surprise, motherfucker"? I'll overlay it with his "Konnichiwa, motherfucker." Boom. GIF of that'll be the GIF of the century right there.
Mhm.
It will be beautiful, and it's going to be a hot staple on the Discord because Table Train
trailer.
there is already a meme.
By the way, one last thing, Animac, I disagree with you on the hating of dubs. I just want to let you know that.
Okay, so give me one good counterpoint.
One good counterpoint of dubs. Well, for one, when you're translating Japanese, like a Japanese anime into like in American culture, there's a lot of things that will get lost in translation. Like when I watch Urusei Yatsura and they only had the Japanese dub, there's a lot of references that they made that had they not put at the bottom of the screen explanation as to what they were talking about, I wouldn't get the joke. It wouldn't be funny. And that's a lot of like one of the biggest problems with a lot of Japanese comedy is that they'll make references to things that only happen in Japan or exclusive to Japan. So when they bring it over and dub it, they will replace those translations for something that is more fitting to an American audience while still staying true to the original Japanese rendition. I'll give you a perfect example of this, and I think this was goddamn clever. It might not be the best dub, it's a good dub, but Azumanga Daioh. In Azumanga Daioh, there's a character from Osaka. And in the English dub, this character actually has a southern accent. And a lot of people were wondering, why does this girl have a southern accent? Well, the reason is because in Osaka is actually one of the southernmost points of Japan. And since she's from the South, it made sense to kind of like for an American audience, give her kind of like a humorous Southern accent. And I thought that was actually pretty clever. That's a way of bringing something new to the table and still staying true to the Japanese rendition. She is from Osaka, which is South, and a Southern accent in America, that's just kind of fits in. You know what I'm saying?
An interesting point is they've actually done that in other shows. That's actually been a common point to where for someone with an Osakan dialect, they've given them a Southern accent to be sort of representative of, as you said, like, you know, that whole congruent.
Yes.
So I've always thought that was like, for me, I was a big fan of that because that was a really creative way to do that, as opposed to just being like, well, clearly that's not going to come across, because there's more intricacies to it, but it makes sense because mentally we can relate to that. We can immediately correlate to that.
I just want to point out that both Briggs and Macklenot left and walked out while Tony was talking, and it was not a coincidence.
It's hashtag silence black man. That's why they walked out. And I think Macklenot was contributing.
With your Filipino side.
Ooh, shots fired at my Filipino side. You know, Bryn's not going to put up with this. She represents the Asians.
You mix her up with Rose.
What? No, I don't. They look nothing alike. How racist of you, Animac. You know what?
After you said that they would do the Dragon Ball Z merging and look the same.
Hashtag boycott anime.
Boycott anime.
Uproar. Boom. I got the hashtag trending now. Here we go.
Ooh.
But what'd you think of my counter?
Official now.
What'd you think of my counterpoint, Anime Uproar?
I disagree with you that it makes any sense whatsoever to have someone from Osaka sounds like they're from Arkansas. Like, that's, to me, just so jarring and ridiculous. And it's about the context of where she's from, not exactly where she's from. The joke is she's from the South, so of course she has a Southern accent. At least, but that's the thing. You're making everything America-centered. You're making everything Americans think. You're making everything think that the world is about them yet again.
It's literally a dub where people from Japan start speaking English. I mean, some of the things that make me laugh is the fact when they do English dubs and the characters are speaking English, and then they meet someone who actually speaks English. They do this thing where it's like pada-pada, 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 pada-pada. I thought that was actually kind of funny. It's kind of like trying to replace the English language with something that wouldn't mix with what's happening in the dialect of the show, which I thought is funny.
Yeah,
and again,
which is funny. It is funny, other than the fact that the dub itself is unnecessary, because if it was subbed, none of that would be relevant. And the point is,
no, they would still do that because a lot of Japanese people don't speak English well, so they go pada-pada, pada-pada. In fact, funny enough, I don't know what anime it was, but it was in the Japanese version that they said pada-pada, pada-pada. They did something else.
Pada-pada, pada-pada. Yeah, I know what you're talking about too. They've done that actually with several shows.
Yeah, what show was that, by the way, Cyanide?
Oh, gosh. I'd have to look into that. Because, yeah, no, it was someone where they were able to speak English. Like, It's only been in recent years where you get shows like Kirino Mosaic where they actually have someone speaking English. Where Nao Toyama does a really remarkable job with English, but yeah, that's just it. Most voice actors don't. I think there was actually a story, Code Geass related, where Callan's voice actress, I think, was singing a song, and she had to ask one of the other actors about an English word because she wasn't familiar with English. So kind of she's like, well, what does this mean? Like, how can I relate to this? So.
See, this is why I love Cyanide. He's just the voice of reason here. Why can't you be more like him, Briggs?
Briggs. The point is,
you said Briggs? I thought you said Bryn.
The point is,
Bryn is a reasonable person, Briggs. How dare you drag her name into the mud?
So you're saying I'm not reasonable? I don't know.
I mean, you like One Piece. How reasonable can you be?
I love how with Briggs, whenever
reasonable
you call Briggs out, you can see his Italian come out. He's like, you say I'm not reasonable, huh? You say I'm not reasonable.
He's like a gangster all of a sudden. You just see the
oh my god, pop up the hood and just like, what?
Hey, forget about it.
He's like, hey, hold on. Hey, Tony, I'm not reasonable, huh? Is that what you said, huh?
That's the worst Italian accent I think I've ever heard.
That was bad.
See, even Bryn said,
Bryn said it. She said
yeah, this coming from people who watch dubbed, please.
I watch sub and dub, so excuse yourself.
It could always be worse. They could have gone the route that Case Closed did, or Detective Conan, where then later on they had mysteries. Like, they adapted it completely to a North American setting, and then later on they had mysteries that involved, like, kanji. And it was like, I'm so sorry.
This is awkward. See, here's the thing. The good argument on your case, Animac, is if they were to translate everything for an American audience while disrespecting the original source material. 4Kids was infamous for this. I mean, the rice ball into donuts, the
cigarette into a lollipop.
Yeah. Did you see the one episode of Pokemon where the rice ball was like jumping down the hill and Ash catches it and then they replaced it with a sandwich? The fuck? A sandwich? Why? It just those are things relatable.
I mean, I prefer a sandwich. But
those are things where I feel like they purposely try to change the original context of what was being shown just so that it could fit an American audience while also disrespecting the original source material. As long as you stay faithful, that's the point. That's why Funimation excels so amazingly.
Well, I think Briggs made a good point when he said, even subbed, it's already a step away from the original. So then why take yet another step away, dubbed just for your convenience, because you want to listen rather than have to read? That to me makes no sense. As a scholar, as an academic, that to me makes no sense.
Took the words right out of
the mouth. You don't have a PhD. You don't have a PhD. Briggs, we cut you off. What were you going to say?
That's what I said. He literally was going to say what I was about to say. And it's a lot of the times it's because things are lost in translation. Why would you take that extra step to go to dub when sub's already not that accurate?
Well, also, I would also keep in mind that a lot of people aren't as fast readers. I hate to put them down, but I have a brother-in-law. His name is Daniel, and he only watches dubs because he can't really follow the sub because he's not able to like watch the screen and read the words at the same time. His mind is very stuck on one central thing. So when he has to read the subs, he can't really pay attention to what's happening on screen, and he loses out on the experience. So that when they do a dub, now he can just focus mainly on what is happening on screen, the visual storytelling. And I understand that. I understand there are some people who can't, read and watch at the same time. Some of us can, but others cannot. That's why
I recommend
helpful.
I don't know if it's that they can't or they don't want to get used to it, because it takes getting used to if you've never done it, right?
But even if you try to get used to it, again, some people aren't fast readers. It's just a thing. It happens.
Yeah. I recommend watching it on like a computer or like a smaller screen than like a TV or something. Cause I still have problems. Like when I watch anime on like a widescreen TV type of thing, I have a hard time multitasking between doing both because it's like such a large screen to pay attention to. That's why like even with gaming, you actually game better on a smaller screen because you're able to like visualize everything like it's more compact.
True.
The only thing I'm going to add to the dub sub argument is Italia ghost stories. I'm done. Rest my case.
And
there's an example right there of an anime where the dub is better than the sub. Italia. Boom.
Yeah.
More importantly,
even High School of the Dead. High School of the Dead was like a funnier dub for me because you could relate more to the references.
Good point. Yeah, that is true. See, we got you now. We got him now, guys. High five.
I refuse to concede.
We got him now.
I will not concede at all. You're all wrong.
To be fair, he never said that.
Have you watched the Ghost Stories sub?
Even Bryn? Even Bryn's wrong?
Yeah, but
I want you to watch the Ghost Stories sub, and then I want you to watch the Ghost Stories dub, and tell me.
But the point of that one is to change it up, right? Again, like Bryn said earlier, if you're watching an anime that it's just like lighthearted, you're not watching it for the details, or you've watched it already, that's fine to watch it dubbed if that's what you want. But like I'm mostly thinking about like careful, analytical watching, and for me,
right.
Oh, then I got the perfect one for you. Death Note is an amazing dub. And it also stays true, almost damn near to the exact words of the original. And it's amazing. So,
and it does have "I'll take a chip and eat it." That epic.
And that's the best part of the show. So
see, the question is, how do we feel about Japanese dubbing over Western products then?
So you're talking about like a double standard, maybe?
Well, I mean, it's a Japanese SpongeBob. There's a dub for that.
There is.
I would love to see someone try to dub me talking and just have like a Japanese person dubbing me. That would be the most hilarious thing ever.
Briggs, please tell me you saw the SpongeBob Japanese.
I haven't seen it. It was just mentioned in the Mother's Basement video.
Oh my god, that is. Can I do a reaction video to that?
I would love to see that. Wouldn't you love to see that?
I would react to your reaction video.
Jackie, we love to see that. Jackie, would we love to see that?
Okay, Chris Tucker.
Jackie, we
I
would
said
love
she
to see
was the
that.
bomb.
Yeah, Tony keeps talking about these reaction videos. Where are all these reaction videos, Tony? You just talking, bro.
They're on Anime Recon's channel.
Apparently. Tony, I want you to make a reaction video where you're just telling everyone to subscribe to my channel.
Nice.
You're gonna be reacting
It's like
to
a
you
really
saying that.
bad reaction.
Just be staring into the camera like, subscribe to Anime Uproar. Subscribe to Anime Uproar. Subscribe to Anime Uproar. And the video's like playing at the bottom. Subscribe to
Yeah,
Anime
and like have one of those like
Yes.
keychains and like move it like hypnotically in front of the screen as you're saying.
And then while I'm doing that, the subscribe to Anime Uproar, it cuts away. It's like smoke. Yeah, you don't get that reference, do you, Anime Uproar?
It sounds like a Family Guy reference.
Ooh, well done. I'm proud of you. Proud of you. Aren't we proud of him, Jackie? And we are so proud of him, aren't we, Jackie?
Yeah, I watch your Western cartoons sometimes.
There's some good.
But I
Western
think
cartoons.
Cyanide brought up a good point. I mean, in like when they translate a lot of the English shows to Japanese, when they bring it over, I mean, there's a lot of changes there too. It's all about the region, honestly. Of course, the Japanese audience would like something catered to them in their own language. So of course they'll do a Japanese dub. Just like here in America, people like a dub that's catered to them, which would be the English dub. Now, I think it's fair and balanced that there are people that love sub and there are people that love dub, you know, and there's just going to be that whole debate until we all die, that there's anime sub versus anime dub. Yep. I personally think as long as the quality is good, I ain't going to complain.
Yeah, I mean, it is what you want. Like, I don't want to be catered to. I want to actually have access to that, like, world and that culture as much as authentically as possible. So I don't want to be catered to. Whereas if someone wants to be catered to, I would argue it's like, why? Like, you should be learning. This should be learning. You should be going out of your comfort zone and not just wanting to be catered to. So that would be kind of my approach.
Then again, anime is entertainment. Like, some people aren't watching it to learn. Some people are just watching it because, hey, I want to catch all the Pokemon and I want to understand what they're saying.
I just want to see tits in my
very best.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say. I was like, just want to see all the
Tingle bits.
Yep.
And
or
if
in Bryn's case, she's like, let's see all the man services. Take your shit.
all the booty. So that's all I need. So
put that Yuri back on ice.
yep, that's all I need.
I'm full of those things, guys. You know, I'm full.
Please
of those
don't
clips.
even mention Yuri on Ice. I don't want to aggravate some crazy fans.
And then have to apologize and take it down.
Yeah, then we all have to apologize.
Yeah.
Or else.
Well, here's my apology to all of the Yuri on Ice fans. I think Yuri and Victor would appreciate this sentiment. Suck my dick.
Oh my.
What?
Did I go too far, Cyanide? Did I go too far?
I like it when you go too far.
This has turned into something else. I think me and Bryn are the only ones that have been uncompromised by this stream. I think everyone else is in big trouble.
Uncompromised? I don't think so.
I've done absolutely nothing wrong.
Yo, Tony, when you make your apology video, can you just say subscribe to Anime Uproar at some point, please?
Okay, I'll say subscribe to Bryn's Fandoms, the best channel on YouTube.
Thank you.
She cut her hair for views, guys. It took her 12 years to make.
12 years to make.
That's a lot.
So
That's a lot of
technically,
people.
that means Bryn's haircut beats out Boyhood.
Basically. See, I'm so glad somebody else watches Red Letter Media besides me. I'm proud of you, Cyanide. I'm proud of you.
And I personally, if you like for my like clickbait, I just use anime boobs. I don't cut my hair, so I think that Bryn, you really are committed.
Imagine Animac if you use both.
What?
Cut your hair and you.
Oh, you would just like
You
explode.
like revolutionize the game.
Cutting your hair plus anime boobs could be the best ASMR video on YouTube.
You'll be swimming in subs in no time.
Yeah, you would.
Just like dive head first into it. Oh, I was gonna say, Bryn, I don't know if did you see my Yuri on Ice review, by the way?
Yes.
There was a section in there, my favorite section in the review, where I talk about the fan service, which I love. Just the perfect shot of Victor's ass right in front of my face.
Yes.
It's beautiful. I'm sure Briggs would have been so happy if he saw it too.
He just would have been like, "Wow,
Rest in
A
peace.
plus
Briggs.
review." Yep.
Yes.
I would have appreciated the placement.
I believe that me and Briggs have probably seen the exact same amount of yaoi, which is this many.
It's true.
Wait, you guys saw that many assholes? Like it's the literal assholes. Wow, that's kind of gross.
That's a
I didn't
lot.
need to know that. The Cyanide did not need to know that. My innocent boy has heard you talk smut on this chat. How dare you?
Terrible smut.
Terrible smut.
Man, I can't wait for Tony's apology video.
I know, right?
Subscribe to Bryn's Fandoms. Subscribe to Bryn's.
All right. Before this gets any worse or better, depending on your perspective, I think we should call it a day so I can go back to the Discord server, link in the description, and chat with my peeps who won't call me out on my views like Tony does. Tony.
That shows that we're good friends, though.
No, it does. It does. It's true. But I also like to be just all my views to be accepted unconditionally. So Mac gets it.
What? Yes. Yes.
Don't throw Mac under the bus. How dare you?
Oh, hey, yeah, that's rude. Why would you do
I
that?
didn't throw you under the bus. I just said you.
I thought we were friends.
I thought we were amigos.
Anyway, Tony, come to Anime North, bro.
I will come to Anime North. No, I will not, because I want to see Macklenot's video.
Okay, wait. I'll do it the year after. Or you know what?
I want to see it now.
Okay, wait. How about this?
How about the camera?
How about this? I still do the cardboard cutout of you, but then at the end you come in, you're like, what the hell is this? And that's
or maybe at the end I'm like texting and I'm walking by, I'm like, hey guys, and I walk away. Like, hey, what the
Yeah, and actually, Tony, the humidity at the end of May will probably be here in the Great Lakes region be similar to Florida, to be honest. So you'll feel right at home.
It's gonna be May?
Shut up.
Before we call it a day, I want to again run by everybody so you can say what you do and who you are. And I'm gonna take the risk and start with Tony. Let's see what happens, Tony.
What's up, everyone? And this is Anime Recon. I just want to make sure you subscribe to my channel. I make videos every day of anime. Okay, I'm butchering his little outro. My bad. I love you, Anime Recon. There's no animosity towards us.
What's up, anime fans of the world?
My name's
Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
My name's
Love
Jeff.
that meme. It will never die.
Subscribe to Jeff's channel. Anyway, I'm Tony, the Black Critic guy. I like to interrupt well planned out live streams and make fun of Briggs for liking One Piece. Subscribe to my channel if you hate One Piece, as always. And
what's your actual opinion on One Piece? Like, have you actually seen it? Do you actually hate it?
Funny enough, I think it's one of the best adventure anime I've ever seen. I like and for a show that goes on forever, it's so thrilling to watch. And I still can't wait to see Luffy beat Magellan.
You like touch my heart.
I just rip on you because it's easy and fun, you know. But I personally think One Piece deserves its accolades. It is a really fun adventure for an anime that's gone on for as long as it does. The quality hasn't dipped. That's incredible. I mean, shit. Bleach lasted what, 7 years, and then everyone kept dying and not dying. Like, I'm back actually. Like, fuck.
And then Naruto had like 400 episodes of filler.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden at the end of the series, like, hey, let's be friends. Friends? I didn't know we could be friends. What? You started this whole thing and you did what?
Is it bad? Like, I feel like people
You're
really like
fucking immortal. What do you mean you need friends?
In character.
What?
Like, a lot of people really like Sasuke, and I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for this. But I think Sasuke was like the biggest like downfall of Naruto. Like he basically like created like I guess the series.
The entire Uchiha clan was the downfall of the series. They made them way too overpowerful. A lot of their character development is very played out, and I hated the final villain. That whole monologue at the end of the series. I mean, that's what we all led up to. Seriously, that was the ending. The fuck.
The thing is, like, One Piece gonna have a good ending. Like, I feel like how could it be like reach like match up to the hype of the last 800 episodes. So like have been so good for me.
I don't think it could.
I honestly
how do you end it? I think a perfect ending is the fact that the Straw Hat crew have to fight each other, like legitimately fight each other to get the One Piece, because only one of them can get it.
All right,
I don't know. I think that'd be interesting.
Briggs, then since you guys are having your own convo on One Piece, we can go with you next, and you can tell us who you are and what you do without saying the words One or Piece. Please go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm one of the
biggest pieces of Rant.
Hey guys, I'm the #1 Minecraft YouTuber on the YouTube. I have 2.5 subscribers. Please subscribe to me.
2.5. What happened to that poor half a subscriber?
He's gonna unsubscribe tomorrow. That's why.
He's not a man yet. That's why he's half.
Oh, I get you.
But yeah, I am Briggs from All Day Anime. I make all the fact videos, all the interesting things you didn't already know about characters and series. I just made one on Kirito. Yeah, but I focus on the 7 Deadly Sins, Hunter x Hunter, all the One Piece, all the time. Yeah. I think the best way to end off One Piece is with Luffy achieving his dream and then dying. And like reunite or like uniting the flame of the pirate era, like basically confirming its existence, but not letting anyone know where it is, and like repeat the speech that Goldie Roger. But that would be my
boring.
You're all insane. Okay, Bryn, let's go to you.
I'm Bryn from Bryn's Fandoms, and I do anime reviews, anime content on my channel, discussions, lots of stuff. I did a haul recently, but yeah. Bryn's Fan is where you can find me everywhere. Like Animeka said, all the stuff's down below. So go there if you want to follow along.
Thank you, Bryn. Now, Cyanide Blizzard, please start swearing profusely and go ahead.
I gotta do this ending sequence. What? Let me do it. No! Back, Chewbacca! Leave me alone!
This is why he doesn't have a face cam.
That really got me? What the fuck?
Okay, I don't know what's happening with Cyanide.
You got attacked by
Did Order 66 just get
okay?
Yeah. Order 66? I didn't know Chewbacca was part of the clone army.
Well, no, I'm saying it. Oh, man. Well, he was there. He was on Kashyyyk. He was there.
Macklenot, why don't you tell us who you are and what you do until we figure out what's happening with Cyanide?
Well, I mean, I thought we did. He's dead. That's it. No more Cyanide.
All right, live up to his name. Cyanide. Death.
But what's up? I'm the Black Critic guy. I review anime and all that stuff. And why are you laughing? Why are you laughing at me? And
because you called yourself a critic.
Well, I'm Macklenot. My mom calls me Mac. Sometimes Mackenzie, but mostly Mac. I
Name
make
reveal.
What?
Name reveal.
You want to do my exit for me, Anna Mac? You want to go? You want to do it? You want to be me? You want to fight me? fight me, Anna Mac. But I don't know what I make, man. I make a lot of, I guess I make a lot of satire stuff and sarcastic kind of like half-assed like things. And I stream on the Twitch. It's mostly what I do, and I vlog when I have to, but I don't like doing it because I don't like it. But I do it, and yeah, that's it. That's me.
Thank you, Mac. And yeah, he actually has some very funny videos out right now, including how to properly pronounce anime titles and stuff. So definitely check that out, Mac.
That's true.
Is our dude.
That will help you immensely.
I genuinely laughed out loud watching that video. Definitely check that out. And Cyanide, are you back?
He's dead. Hello. This isn't Dragon Ball Z. We can't just resurrect him.
Earth Pass.
Briggs, let's go. We're finding the Dragon Balls now. Come on.
I got the radar. Let's go.
Cyanide.
Oh, great and powerful dragon. Hear my wish.
Fine. Cyanide's not here. Whatever. Cool.
Wait. Let me get my wish from the dragon. Eternal dragon, please bring back Cyanide Blizzard from the dead, from the world of the dead.
I am sorry. It is beyond my power.
Shit!
You guys are such
Fuck
nerds.
you, dragon!
I was gonna say, what's going on here?
5 times.
Dragon.
You guys are such nerds. And yeah, so guys, thank you again for joining us. Thanks everyone who was our guest, especially Tony for rating the stream. We appreciate it. Tones, the
Always
Tone
love
Man,
rated.
the guy.
Tone.
And yeah, so guys, if you want to continue mindless chatter with us, you can come join the Discord. Mac is on there, and so is Cyanide Blizzard, aka Table Coon, who, if he's still alive, he'll be there. And yeah, so thanks again. Always a pleasure. Always a privilege to hang out with you guys and talk. And I look forward to Tony's apology video. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
Bang!